been a great journey. It was hard early days, but we've stuck together ever so well as a football club and as a group. It's so good to see how the club's grown. It's so good when we go to the footy now and the gap is full. So it was half empty, or 3/4 empty back in the early days. It's just been great to be a part of that journey, play my role. But nothing gets done unless everybody puts in, and that's what's happened here. So keep putting in, is what I say. And thanks very much for this honour. Thanks. Cheers.
It is the Brisbane Lions Fancast, back for another week, and I am back to normal, the land of the living, Patrick. The strep throat is more or less gone, a couple more days of antibiotics, but I am back to somewhat normal now. Chris Fagan breaks the all-time record for games coached for the Brisbane Lions / Fitzroy Lions / Brisbane Bears with a big win against the Gold Coast Suns. There's plenty to talk about, and let's get straight into it with this last game of the home and away season, Brisbane Collingwood Friday night at the MCG. If you're Brisbane-based and you're looking for something to do on Friday night, if you want someone to watch it, head on down to EB by Hiker. We are having our first official watch party. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing some content. We'll get some bits and pieces. Tickets available right now. Get them while they are hot, because I do think they have capped space. ebbyhiker.com.au. Use the code word LionsFancast26 at the checkout. $70, 3 hours drink package, main meal from the kitchen. Come and have a lot of fun with us. I know a few people have already gotten involved in this one. And right now at our Discord channel as well, we are giving away a ticket to this as well. So if you're not a member of the Discord, it's very easy to get involved. BrisbaneLionsFancast.com.au. The link is there. Jump on board, and we're going to give away a ticket in there. It's all thanks to EB by Hiker, of course. Chris Marketing and Hop On Brewery Tours, our other sponsors for 2026. And of course, Dubby as well. I got my first shipment of Dubby energy drinks, the caffeine without all the jittery stuff. I got that across the week. Very yummy. Very yummy. So if you want to get involved in that one, head to w.gg and use the code word BLFancast for a discount there as well. All right, that is basically all the housekeeping that I can think of. Let's chat some footy, Pat.
Yeah, before we do, the cat's eating my Sprite, so I'm going to go and deal with that. So just, I'll be back. Stop doing that. All right, we're back.
He's gone full Bears kit. You love to see it. Dare to Beat the Bear was the theme song of the night. Of course, retro round, I guess, is what you'd call it. Every time we seem to play the Suns recently, we roll out the Bears kit. Yellow on pink was not ideal at the game. Especially
they should be absolutely banned from wearing their pink uniform against us. In no context will it ever work unless we're wearing white. It just doesn't work against us. Anyone else? Fuck off, Suns.
All right, he's coming out of the gates hot.
Yeah, this one, it just doesn't fit so good anymore. Oh, no. I'm turning 35 in a couple of weeks. It's all coming to a head. Now, you made it to a good portion of the game.
Yeah, so my wife had a recital during the day, and it finished at about 4:15, so I booked it to the Gabba from there, made it just before half-time, and caught the last half.
Are we happy that she doesn't play a instrument that needs a reed, so that you would just go to the football instead of getting the reed like Homer? Just happy that it's just a normal metal tube with some bits on it. I'm sure everyone that plays a flute will love that assessment.
Yeah.
So,
metal tube with bits.
So just to go back to the EB by Hiker Friday night fight against Collingwood, are we going to work out some sort of nonsense so that like there's a station that people can like accost me whilst I'm watching the game? Because I'm willing to have that happen. You know, I will have a laptop set up in front of me that's on a permanent call, and you can come and you can yell at me, or you can say that you like me.
We can see if we can facilitate something like that.
Kind of like back in the COVID days when he's just like a fucking box. And here I am. We named an unchanged team for the second time this year. And
we are going to be facing some serious selection dramas ahead of this Collingwood game and the finals as well, but we'll get to that. We will get to that because there is a big name that is due to come back in, and who knows where we're going to fit him. But let's have a chat about the Q Clash.
Yes, indeed. Well, Gold Coast are a team that have fallen significantly in the past couple of months. You look at a team like them and go, they should be much more talented than they are. The talent is there, yet all that they could do was bring pressure to force it to be a scrappy game with no class whatsoever. It was unbelievable how limited their game plan seemingly was. Yeah, the first quarter was not... it was fine. Like I said to you before, you kind of missed... And you went back and watched it, but you kind of missed the best and the worst part of the game. I guess you missed the best part of the game, but the least fun part of the game, if that makes any sort of sense. What were your thoughts on the rewatch?
First and foremost, could be up there in all-time worst commentary teams. Joey Montagna, Nick Del Santo, Tom Hawkins. No thank you. No thank you. I'm full. No thanks. Take it back.
Speaking of commentary teams, if we go back to Friday night,
yes,
I got to say, somehow, and you know how I feel about Jordan Lewis and Brownie are a good expert duo.
Mm.
And I think it's because Brownie doesn't waffle on and Jordan Lewis respects Brownie too much to waffle on. So they kind of shut up.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
So, yes, that was pleasantly surprising, although I didn't really like the, again, rehash of the sarong so bloody right.
So bloody right.
It's
It's
just...
Once
it's your
was
man.
enough. Once was too much.
It's your man. Once was too much. Twice, very too much. I think we're up to 4 or 5 now. So, anyway, back to, horrible. What was Hawkins doing there and not doing the Geelong game? He got shafted.
I don't mind that he's not doing Cats games. Like that's fine. In a fortnight where the Cats have been under the microscope a little bit. What I will say, and you're not going to like this because, well, I don't like it either because who likes Damien Hardwick? I thought he pulled out some coaching moves that gave them a chance. You know, considering what happened to Hawthorn last week. They played Ben King back shoulder on Harris Andrews, tried to nullify him as much as possible. Rao was getting the best of Dunkley early on in the first half. They put Took in the middle on Neil, which is something they've, haven't really necessarily wanted to do for a while. I thought they did a few things to try and give themselves a best shot and make it a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, the first exchanges were pretty interesting because Rao... I think I counted 4 throws. He had 4 throws and 2 loopy-loop kicks, and he was on 6 possessions. So it was a weird game. Umpire. Now I do agree with all of what you said. Took Miller back in the middle playing on Neil was a bit of a throwback because he's been playing kind of half forward. And it almost seemed now at the game, it seemed like McKenna was kind of going with Noble to begin with and then swapped to Rioli. Which is good. And I think neither of them did. I mean, Rioli was he started pretty well, gave them a little bit of drive. Petrarca was nowhere to be seen virtually the whole game.
Yeah, he was a non-factor.
And Raul's a strange player. Like, I like him, but he comes across as kind of reckless a lot of the time. He goes into contests in a way that's like, he's not doing it in a mean-spirited way, but it is kind of dangerous, and at some point someone's going to get knocked the fuck out. And he'll probably get away with it from, like, plausible deniability. He just throws himself into things.
He screams to me as a guy that, and if you listen to his Brownlow speech last year, like, he wants to win. He wants to play finals. He wants to win finals. He wants to win a premiership. I reckon he is as disappointed as anyone in the Suns season and his own form this year. Like, injury start, really slow to get out of the gates. Had an absolute blinder last week against the Giants and looked to continue that form against us. So he looks like he's just trying to do, as a lot of people on that Suns team, they're all trying to do a little bit too much and take it on themselves to try and pull something out of this season. And it's just screaming of desperation.
Did you talk to your mate during the week in the lead up to the game? Just, I know you didn't do an episode, but did you sort of chat to him about what he was expecting and hoping?
Nah, he's not been too keen on chatting footy for the last 10 odd weeks. But he called it as well. He said, we are not going to win another game for the rest of the year. And they went on that massive losing streak. So he was being... he was tongue-in-cheek, as you were saying. A bit facetious. Yeah, but he genuinely thought, that they're cooked. So, vindication for him, I suppose.
It wasn't facetious. What was facetious was me saying that they've peaked and they will now go into the doldrums. I'm standing by that because that was a good 6 weeks ago that I think I said that about them, that they are in all sorts of trouble. But, yeah, the first quarter, like, who kicked goals? Logan.
So Logan kicked that ridiculous goal.
No, that was second quarter.
Was it?
Second quarter. Yeah, I want to say that was second quarter. Let me just bring up the timeline so I can relive this nightmare.
So we had Eric broke the drought, and then 40 kicked a set shot.
Beautiful 40. I didn't realize Eric kicked a goal. Jesus Christ. I didn't realize that Eric kicked a goal until now. So that's good. He had a few really nice field kicks in that opening quarter, and he was kind of linking play quite well. And one of the few that didn't seem to be just like, to borrow a phrase, bunting the ball around in a horrible way. It was a bit of a grim start, but good contested mark from Fort. Eric from outside 50 again. And Ben Long. Still exists.
Yeah, he's having a sneaky sort of goodish year. Like, he had that good year, I think it was the year before last. Like, he was like maybe one of the best small forwards in the competition, but last year was obviously down on that, and then he sort of middled out a little bit this year. But he's a handy player. He's a good size. He's tough. Can take a mark.
He's up there in my like top 5 most despised players in the competition. So right. I think he's a coward and a sniper. But let's not go there. Bailey Humphrey kicked one 1,000,000 miles in the air and 1,000,000 billion miles far.
Yeah, and around the body too.
With one of the most ridiculous kicks I think I've ever seen. And it's just, it was level at quarter time, and then we sort of kicked a couple of goals and
just grounded out. It was just it was a mature win in these games that we know we have to win. Obviously Hawthorn Collingwood did us a bit of a favour. Top 4 seems more likely than unlikely at this point, where, I mean, the 10 is set now officially. St Kilda have missed out and Giants have missed out, thank God. So the 10 is set. If we win next week, we're top 4. It just depends on the Hawthorn West Coast result and percentage and all that sort of stuff. So, I don't think Melbourne they'd have to win big if they want to catch us, and we win, or we drop a game. But anyway, still a lot of things to work out. But destiny's in our hands. We got to get the win on Friday night.
I think there has to be something like a 340-point differential between us and Melbourne, which I don't think that's going to happen. Could happen. Don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. The second half, as you said, we just kind of ground it out, and I think a little bit of quality just kind of got them. They were kicking pretty poorly. We also kicked kind of poorly, but a lot of set shots and stuff that didn't even score. So it was like...
Oh, Kyle Oman could not buy a goal.
No, he spent all of his food stamps last week. And, he was bellying the ball all over the place, and it took Charlie Cameron forever. I was very excited, you know?
Yes.
I like Arthur. I unironically watched that show in a pinch because it's all on YouTube, and I'm just like, I don't know what to watch while I'm having my breakfast. Slap on an episode of Arthur. Have a bit of reggae. So I was looking forward to it. Statistically, a worse goal song than Country Roads, I might say, because we lost the clearance. So it's a 0%er.
Well, we're going to have a chat about clearances later because our midfield has been questionable the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks. But we'll have a chat about that.
I think it's as much to do with our rucks as much as it is our midfields.
Yeah.
I mean, in the reverse fixture, do you remember me sort of saying Ned Moyle was kind of had big O feeling? And I think he's a good player. He's one of the few I'd be like, come on.
I don't know why they extended Jared Witts throughout the week, who can't get a game, and, you know, anyway, whatever. That's their prerogative.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when you said Jed Walter was the slowest player you've ever seen?
Yeah, I was incorrect, wasn't I? Because he won the grand final sprint, and then that goal he kicked, and the game was done, but that goal he kicked was elite.
It was pretty smooth.
Yep.
It's so funny that, like, I understand because in that game he looked just awful. I don't remember what game it was, but he couldn't move. He was like he was walking through molasses.
Yeah.
And then, I think it was that year that we were at the grand final. He rocks up for the sprint, and we were just like, what the hell is this guy doing here? And then it came out that he was like the quickest over 0 to 20, which is where he was the slowest in that game by a mile. So, look, this game happened, and Gold Coast are feckless, and I have no sympathy for them. And we did what we needed to do. It was an ugly game with this performance is so similar to most of the other ones we have, but the other team didn't kick 5 goals to end the game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that and just move on to next week against Collingwood, to be honest. Any performances that you would like to talk about that were not the Ashcrofts and someone else?
Not particularly. I thought it was just a good, solid team performance from basically everyone. I thought Berry's going to miss out on a vote for me, unfortunately, but I thought he was really good. Like, really good across the day. Like, really good.
Yeah, his defensive rolling back to create an extra was really important and really went under the radar. Like, he's going to have moments where he gets caught holding the ball, but look, if you're taking a shot from 50 and getting caught holding the ball, trying to give me my favourite thing in football, you get a pass. You absolutely get a pass. So, Wilmot I thought was really good. Zorko was really good. And Dunkley kind of came back into it in the second half, which I don't think he was that far off. But it's just, what a strange game. By way of the stat sheet reads really weird. I think Eric Hipwood had a really good game.
Really good, yeah. His contest work, like his ability to have a contest, as you said, his field kicking, his ability to get up and down the ground. All the things that we've loved about Eric Hipwood for, a few years now, where he's been pretty maligned amongst Lions fans. And it is allowing Oscar to work his way into it, and we're getting a look at that 3 tall forwards now. So, he was awesome.
Alan was sort of playing a bit closer to goal. We're kind of, it's sort of, do you remember the other week sort of 6 odd weeks ago when we had like too many tall defenders and Harris Andrews was kind of marauding through the midfield.
Yep.
And just being like, all right, that's kind of what Hipwood's doing the other way.
Mm.
He's turning up and really like almost like a, forward flanker. And then we're kind of having the two keys. But then what it does then is it creates a weird decision for the opposition coach to go, well, does Mac Andrew go with him up the ground to contest, or then does he stay and then you get caught and you got, Collins and Ballard and whatever. Collins broke some ribs by all accounts. And
he was coming back from ribs, and so he was still sore. And yeah, so he took one hit and he was no bueno.
They just have a lot of guys I don't really care about or know of the Gold Coast. Like, there was two or three times I've never seen that person in my life.
Yeah, they've got a few that you sort of like, oh, who's that guy? Yeah. And if it wasn't the fact that, my closest mate at work is a diehard Suns fan, I wouldn't know Lockie Goulburn, or I wouldn't really know these guys. But I do, because he sort of mentions them here and there.
You said that right as I was like, who's L. Glublin? Yeah. So, I don't know. They've got a long way to go. Petrarca did absolutely nothing. Leicester wore him like a glove, so good on that. And, should we do some votes?
Yeah, let's do some votes. Thanks to hoponbrewtours.com.au. Book yourself a half for a full day tour across the Gold Coast or Brisbane. And Father's Day coming up as well. A fantastic gift. You can get yourself a gift voucher at hoponbrewtours.com.au, or just book your dad a tour. Do recommend. One of the great days out. So for me, Will 3, Logan 2, and Levi 1.
Okay. Interesting. I haven't decided who I'm giving my 1 to yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going...
again, Jared Berry, very stiff to miss out.
Yeah. Yeah, let's give Limo the 1. I'm giving Will 2 and Levi 3. Because I'm
Levi
a cultured man. I thought he had a better game.
He's his last couple of weeks. The Ashcroft boys and the Gold Coast. There's something there. Like they started it. They started it, miss. They've gone hard at those two boys since they entered the system, and they've just answered back big time with their performance. And it's got to be said, Will's last 10 weeks, 10 weeks has just been phenomenal.
He didn't get enough clearances. He only got 4 and he needed 5 to get that thing, which was a slight shame. But no, he's been pretty monstrous, and he'll poll a lot of Brownlow votes in this portion of the season, but I don't think it'll be enough to catch up to the other fella. But yeah, it's good to see, and I think he's a big game player.
Yeah, I'm born to win. Those boys. Like, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think the longer the season gets and the more drawn out, the more games they get put in, the ability to kind of play consistently throughout a whole year is probably... There's only going to be a handful of players that do it.
Yeah.
And I think those teams also really play through that player. So...
it'll be good to see him and Nick. They're not going to go head to head, obviously. Like, they might see each other at stoppage and then go their own ways. But it will be good to see those two in the same game on the MCG doing their thing. Yeah,
well, hopefully we have the same as the last two results at the MCG against Collingwood. So, Collingwood, that game, man. Did you watch the Hawks Collingwood?
Yeah. I was we were all Collingwood fans on Saturday night, were we not?
I didn't care. Because I've been pretty firm on it that I want Fremantle in week 1 of the finals. I want them. I want to go to Fremantle. I want the week off leading up.
Yeah.
The idea of going there potentially on prelim final weekend.
Yeah, I don't desire
to go to either place, really. We're going to have to go to one of them. I just...
I think we can just take care of Sydney. Sydney don't scare me as much as they did sort of 10, 12 weeks ago. They don't scare me that much. Obviously their position on the ladder says that they're a good team and they have dismantled a few, but, like Essendon pushed them today. St Kilda have pushed them. We smacked them. They don't scare me like they should, and I think they'll be packing their decks when they come up against us as well, regardless. So I'm sort of, if we play them in Sydney and get a home prelim, beautiful.
That's great.
If we go to Perth, get a look at Freo. The result falls whatever way that falls. Either way, we're not going to see Freo again until grand final. There's obviously the machinations where Sydney beat us and we do face Freo in a prelim, but I think that's robbing everyone of the grand final that they think is going to happen.
Yeah, but that Hawthorn and Collingwood game was an amazing display of like about 6 or 7 chokes back to back by each team. They were taking turns to choke. Yeah. It was unbelievable. And it is unfathomable how many opportunities both teams had to put the game away. Who do you think, yes, Dylan Moore should have kicked a point, and if he'd taken his time and used his brain, I've seen the footage from him on the cherry picker in America. He doesn't have much of a brain. But what he needed to do was go, I can't kick the ball that far. I'm going to aim for the point. And if he'd aimed for a point, he would have probably kicked a goal, ironically. But at the same time, Collingwood had 3 shots. It was Dacos, it was Houston, and it was McCreery from 50 that they all missed. Very minimal pressure on the shot. They all missed. So it was a hilarious display. And then weird Craig McRae celebrating at the end.
Very strange.
Weird.
Either way, the result worked for us. We're up on percentage against the Hawks, 1 or 2%. And Collingwood, they're a good team. You look at the list on paper and you think, okay, we should be fine here. But their system is very well structured. Craig McKay can coach. Kills me to say because I can't stand the man these days, but he can coach and he gets the best out of that team. He has gotten a lot out of that team for what it is. They'll be up and about for Steel side bottom as well on Friday night if he plays, which he should. So it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be a tough game.
Does it do much that they're kind of... I mean, what are they playing for here?
As high on the ladder as they can get.
Yeah, I don't think they can't get into 7th.
No, probably not.
And I think regardless of whether they finish 8th or 9th, if the Bulldogs win and they lose, they're still going to be playing at the MCG.
Yeah.
So I think it's entirely a junk time game for them.
Yeah, well, hopefully they think about that. I don't know. It depends what they want out of it. They're going to be playing wildcard regardless, so maybe they are going to try and manage and rest for that. Who knows? Whatever. Not
I reckon you could see.
We just need to win.
Not our problem. I reckon you could see DeGoey and Pendlebury and someone else not be there. Maybe.
That'd be nice.
Don't know. Yeah. But yeah, they are getting a lot. They've got so many dudes that are just there. Charlie West, Roan Steele, who are these guys? And I think we'll get them regardless because we've just got a lot more quality around the field. But yeah, they funnel everything towards... What did I say earlier on in the year? They've got 3 10 out of 10s and the rest are 6s. And they're just somehow getting that to average out and work. What a weird group of guys. Hawks should have torched them. 100% should have torched them. They just couldn't and didn't. So what does that say about Hawthorn?
All right. Changes. the Twos had another huge win. There's 2 weeks in a row where they've won by 100 points. Absolutely smacked the Suns here. Will McLaughlin back on the scoreboard, 4 goals for. Tunstall, Reville with 33 touches, if you don't mind. Kitty was good, 27 and a goal. Marshall again, sure. But changes unlikely, except for maybe Ty Gallop. Do you bring Ty Gallop in, and is it for Dizzy Gardner? Because he's the one. If Gallup's coming in, it's for Dizzy, who has not done anything wrong.
No, he hasn't. He's Darcy Gardnered it, which is just plug and play. I don't know.
It's tough, and I do not envy Chris Fagan and the selection committee one iota.
It could be the sort of thing where they go, well, it was an ill-disciplined act, and that's why you're not in the team. But once again, it's the player not in the team that's most at risk.
Yep.
So by doing something that I didn't think was that big of a deal, albeit dumb, didn't think it was, this harsh. But maybe he does. Maybe they just want to rest, freshen up and keep things that way. Like I do see them making 1 or 2 changes. I just don't know necessarily what they will be. Because
they've openly said Hugh's not coming back till finals. Like they're just giving him the best chance to get over this calf and keep it as fresh as possible, and that will be for Annabelle. Is it worth giving Zorko a week off to manage him and bring Kitty in for a game?
Well, they tried it and they didn't get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
I don't mind either. If they choose to do that, I think it's largely positive, but Zorko said he pulled up pretty fine.
Yeah.
So, comparative to the week previous. So, those are the options. The other options to roll Reville in for Annabelle.
That's not a bad shout.
Because,
but then you're dropping him a week later for Hugh or someone else if there's an injury.
But it could just be an element of keeping people fresh and keeping them in touch, which is not really something that happens too often in the AFL. But sucked in, coaches.
It's going to be tough. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any changes. I think they're going to... Gallup's the one. If there's a change, it's Gallup for Dizzy. And to get him a game before finals. Bruce very stiff because he was, up until he had a kid, like one of our most consistent players for the, first 2/3 of the season. I'm very unlucky to get dropped against Carlton when, if you're going off the game
through no fault of his own.
I know, just you drop everyone if that's the case. And obviously Hugh comes back for week 1 of the finals as well. So, Twos are, that's it for them. I think that's the end of the VFL season, if I'm not mistaken. I think people are pretty dirty on there not being any Twos to roll players back through. So it's a bit of a, another notch on the fixturing calamity that is the AFL. But where did they wind up? They kind of, with a bullet, probably finished 18th. Let's have a quick look. You're exactly right.
Well, sometimes I amaze even myself.
Yes. Geelong are far and away the best team in the VFL at the moment, 16-2 with a percentage of 168. So forget about it. It's theirs to lose.
What a bunch of bastards.
While we are talking results, girls got off to a hot start today as well with a big 48-point win against the Dons. Dax kicked 4. Good to see just some new names, players in different positions as well. Chucky Mullins in the middle I quite liked. Some Lily Rose Williamson, she was killing it in tackles, leading tackles, and then we had another debutante, Marlowe, who kicked a goal, the last goal of the game on her first game as well. So good to get the girls off to a good start. It looks like they're going to be, it's round 1, but they'll be thereabouts again come the pointy end of the season. But as we know, there's a juggernaut called North Melbourne in the way who started their season off pretty well as well. So I will endeavour to give the girls a little bit more time and air once the men's season is, petering out a little bit, but they're off to a cracking start, and Craig Starcevich has got that team back up and about yet again. Let's go to some tipping, thanks to EB by Hiker. And don't forget, EB by Hiker watch party this Friday night. Tickets available through ebbyhiker.com. Do you go to the game day packages, use the code word LionsFancast26 and you get a $70 drinks package. It kicks off at 6:45. 6:45 this one kicks off, so we'll see you there. I got the perfect round in terms of results. Missed out on the margin by 15 or so, but all green ticks here. Not that it means anything.
It says you got your margin was 6.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Did you win?
Let's have a look.
I mean, anyone that just tipped a default margin will beat you, so...
Yes. Bloody Hayden.
Did Hayden get a perfect... Yeah.
There you go. My mum has got the perfect round and got the margin, but so did Robert L. Bruiser 47, Robert L.
He's languishing in 130th, so he needs the beer.
Yeah, get in touch, Robert, and we'll sort out your EB by Hiker 300 waypoints for your efforts. Don't forget our AFLW tipping competition is up and about as well. How do they go with that? Tip down on Collingwood, Adelaide, Freo, and West Coast. God, I've had a mare 5 from 9. And our weekly winner, Brooke K. Well done. Congratulations.
Filthy Port Adelaide Guernsey in that picture there.
I love that.
I didn't get a perfect round because I wasn't a coward and I tipped North Melbourne. And it was looking bloody good after the first quarter.
It was looking good, wasn't it?
We're not. But also I did tip Fremantle by 70. So...
Oh, jeez. All right, let's have a look to the last round of the home and away season. 2 teams that are officially not playing finals at Marvel Stadium, St Kilda and the Gold Coast Suns.
Hold on, why is this game on?
Yuck, why is this a Thursday night game? Gross.
I'm going to tip...
St Kilda by 7. Who cares?
I'm tipping the Gold Coast Suns by 170. I can't do it. It won't let me do that. What's the maximum I can tip? 99? 99. Gold Coast by 99.
Jeez. Tipping us to beat Collingwood. Freo to beat Carlton, but I think that's going to be close because Carlton, because Freo's going to rest everyone.
Are you sure they won't get an AFL missive?
Patrick. I love how the memo goes out, and since then, every single player and coach are like, bugger that, I'm doing what I want. We're going to do what's best for our club. Like, you can send out as many memos as you want. I'm tipping Carlton for this one. Would
you want to rest players for 2 weeks in a row, though? Because they get a week off anyway.
If there's anyone that is sore or... Yeah.
I would think, actually, Carlton are probably more likely to rest players than Freo. Because they don't get a week off. They just have to go again in the WSC, the water closet.
You make a good point.
I'm tipping Freo. Don't listen to me, though. Like, I've gone completely off the rails.
Yeah, okay. Melbourne to beat the Dogs. Cats
also, would like to say, though, that I did win the round of tipping when there were no draws, so...
Well done. Port to beat Essendon, Sydney to beat North, Hawthorn to beat West Coast.
Western Bulldogs, no chance, yeah. I'm trying to get in. You were not tolerating any of my nonsense last week, so I'm trying to...
I wasn't tolerating anything.
Do you even remember last week? Oh, no. Port Adelaide, much. Essendon.
Yeah,
Butters will be back to get 40 and kick 2. Yeah. What a... Like, that's not a great round of football.
It's not, but there are games that will matter.
Yeah.
Ours,
they're just shit games.
Hawthorn, depending on margins for Melbourne, Geelong, Adelaide, where they end up potentially. But yeah, there's some definite nothing burgers in there.
Yeah, too right.
All right, let's have a quick look at the questions. Thanks to Crisp Marketing, crispcoms.co. If you need any marketing for your business, whether it's a podcast of your own, websites, brochures, social media help, Abby and the team are absolutely fantastic. So get in touch with crispcoms.co. All right, this is a question I was going to dive into a little bit here from Nathan. Question for the pod, please. We lost centre clearances again last night, 15-6. Could this be an issue in finals, or does our game stack up enough in other areas to compensate this? I had a look back at the last sort of 5-6 weeks. Ever since we played West Coast and we, as Lachie Neale said, got roasted in the middle, we have been smacked. We sort of were about even with Port at home, but they still just pipped us in sort of centre clearances. Obviously, Carlton pulled our pants down. Hawthorn got us last week. Suns got us again yesterday. So the middle has been a little bit of a question mark. As you said, our two ruck combination, they're getting not beaten handily, but they're getting they're getting beaten.
Yeah, like Fort's not really offering much in post-ruck contests, which you don't expect him to, really. And Draper's kind of going one way. And I don't know if it's a thing. Like, we tend to be pretty good on post-clearance, contest possession and differential and stuff like that. So we do push forward, but it is an easy avenue to goal. And it's the sort of thing where, like, if Gold Coast had kicked straighter.
Yeah,
and
they were
maybe
getting out of the front of stoppage a bit.
Yeah, and it's not a good thing because what that can do is lead to a situation like GWS or Carlton where they're just, you can't stop it.
Yep.
And does there need to be like a circuit breaker in that to go, well, we need to tie up and create a repeat stoppage where we can bring extra numbers to it? Because sometimes that's just sort of what you need. It doesn't happen very often these days because there's so much space. But the idea of, a repeat stoppage in the middle to bring the wingers in and bring the half forwards and the half backs all to kind of create a mess. And we kind of lack that ability to control those outcomes. So
we're getting it done in stoppages around the ground, especially forward 50 when we've got all those dangerous players sort of floating around. I think, yeah, and we've talked about this on the pod before, is like Lachie Neale not starting in the middle as often. Bailey's getting much more time in the middle recently as well. We're mucking around with, not mucking around, but we are experimenting with those combinations a little bit more over the last sort of 5-6 weeks. And it comes down to the fact that, yes, Lachie Neale's leaving. We're trying our best to keep Zach Bailey. Here's some midfield minutes, Zach. If this is what you want, if this is going to help you stay, here's some midfield minutes. And Lockie's CBA is noticeably come down, especially, starting. Like, he's starting on the bench some, most games, most quarters. Will is largely starting half forward, then coming in. Hugh hasn't been there as well. Like, it's just, it's been a little bit of a revolving door. There hasn't been a huge amount of continuity, and that's a little bit by design. So I think that does play into it a little bit. There hasn't been that sort of consistency that we've been used to because, centre clearances has been one of our, better sort of stats across the last couple of years. So not having Lachie in there, I wonder if it's a case of when we get to finals, it's like, all right, Zach, yes, we want you to still play midfield and that is the goal. Lachie, we know you're leaving, but, for these next 3, 4, 5 weeks, we need to win games, and we need to give ourselves the best shot, and we need to get it out of the middle. Lachie, you're in there.
Yeah, I didn't notice Rayner at any CBAs. I didn't look too hard, but I don't know. It seems like there's an element of, are they just trusting that they can get to finals and then they will, like, they're
There's
working on
that.
something, or they're sort of, because you don't really want to show everyone what you're doing. And it was kind of a case of, you go back to that first final against Geelong last year where we were getting beaten and we lost. And it was sort of, we just didn't really do anything for the last quarter. We just sort of hung around. because they were just like, well, we're not going to try anything because we don't want you to see what we're trying. And maybe that could be the case where they looked at Gold Coast and went, it'll be fine. Next week will be interesting because if they do line up and they got Dacos and Crisp and is it Crisp? Yeah, Crisp. And
Ed Allen's in there.
Yeah.
You know, Pendle's side bottom. Ned Long goes through there. They've got a few that rotate through, but yeah.
It's another difficult ruck task as well, you know, Cameron.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, I think it's like they're just going. And that's sort of the one part of the game that hasn't really clicked into gear, despite everything else. And you'd look at it and go, well, if you're winning stoppage around the ground, like, surely you can just do it in the middle.
Yeah, you think so.
So just do it in the middle. But find a way to do it in the middle, dude. I don't know. Where's Jumpin' Jeff White when you need him to explain this stuff to us?
Well, he's coaching the girls.
Yeah, I know. And their stoppage work's probably awesome. Amazing.
Well, they've got a few that can run through the middle there as well. It's definitely a watch. It's definitely a watch. And I'll be interested to see, you know, come qualifying final time or, you know, week one of finals, what that first centre bounce looks like and who's in there. Like, I'm genuinely interested to see what that looks like.
Our tackling pressure was pretty good. We've stepped up our tackling in the past few weeks. Do you know where we sit on the tackling ladder in the competition?
Dead last.
we sit 18th.
Yep.
So we've gone down since we last spoke about it.
Yeah, dead last.
There's a very, very outside chance that we finish 17th to maintain our consistent finishing, but it's pretty funny, that. Pretty funny. So, what are you kind of...
We'll get a couple more questions here.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, from Ross Madline. Is Eric more of a winger these days in the same way Ollie Dempsey is? He doesn't get the kudos for his 1%ers. He does contribute to the scoring. Now, I agree with basically everything you're saying. I wouldn't necessarily equate him to Ollie Dempsey. I think Ollie Dempsey can do a few things that Eric can't. I think Eric can do a few things Ollie Dempsey can't. But I do see what you're saying there.
Do you know which game of football I reckon Ollie Dempsey modelled his entire game style on? And someone can fight me if they want. Go and watch Jasper Fletcher's final against Port Adelaide from 2023. Ollie Dempsey looked at that and went, I'm going to do that and I'm going to turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
Because people are talking about this Ollie Dempsey position and no one else does it like him. Jasper Fletcher did it first in a final. So, copyright infringement. No, Eric's not a winger. Like, he doesn't have the kind of... I don't think that he has the... No, he is very disciplined, isn't he? I just don't think that he is. I think he's like...
He's more a high half forward.
He needs the license to be able to turn up where he needs to be rather than having the, like... You're playing on the far side wing or the near side wing or whatever. Like, there's too much restriction in what he can do with that. So, yeah.
I really like what he's been doing. And for your other point, Ross Madline, he doesn't get the kudos, but that has been his lot in life, Eric. We're unapologetic Eric fans, and he had a great game. His last 2 weeks have been really good. I thought he was really good against Hawthorn, actually.
Yep. Is Annabelle playing more on the wing, or is he like? I haven't really decided what he's doing in my mind, because him playing on a wing is not really his thing.
No, but it's the case for any midfielder that comes into this Brisbane Lions team. You're not getting in the midfield, so hey, you're in the team. Make the most of it. You're out on the wing, and you're going to learn that. And you'll get midfield time when it becomes available through whatever means. But you're going to learn this role because it's important and we need you to build your aerobic capacity at the same time. It's same with Levi. Like, Levi's a pure inside mid, always has been, but you're going to have to bide your time on the wing, son.
Wing and half forward.
Or
Yikes.
unless you can make yourself a position at half-back like Jasper. Like, Jasper's he's a mid. Brandon Starcevic came in as a midfielder. Never saw a CBA in his life, because it's like, hey, while we'd love to have you in there, it's just that we've got this Lachie Neale, 2-time Brownlow medalist. You know, we've got Jared Lyons at that stage. We've got Josh Dunkley. We've got Hugh McCluggage. We've got Will Ashcroft. Like, these guys are ahead of you.
Zorko was in the midfield at that time as well.
Yeah. So, and then, okay, we'll learn this. Hey, turns out you're pretty good at this. Have at it.
Yeah.
And Levi is turning into a very decent wingman.
He's also turning into the kind of player that his run outside of stoppage will be, it's all going to be beneficial. It's funny, like, I reckon Will Ashcroft is one of the best forward-running players in the competition. Like,
yeah,
he chugs ass going back the other way. But when he's going forward, no one's catching him. It's amazing.
Yes. And he's so strong through the hips too.
He arches the back.
You can see he has learned, he's tried to model his game off Gary Ablett. Like, that comes from growing up, you know, a little bit on the Gold Coast and then spending a lot of time with Geelong as well. Like, he's just been exposed to Gary Ablett and he's just gone, hey, that guy is actually really good at footy. I might try and do that.
Yeah, just picked the best player.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am in no way at this point comparing Gary Ablett Jr. and Will Ashcroft. I think they're still worlds apart.
Hey,
but you can
Ashcroft's
see
got more Norm Smith medals, man.
You can see he has modelled his game off it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I was pretty confident. It's an outlandish thing to say, but I would have found it very difficult to find a better player in my lifetime than Gary Ablett Jr. But Nick Dacos is pushing it.
Yeah, I just don't like watching Collingwood, so I don't watch as much of him.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are going to be very angry at me for saying that. But fuck, he's good at footy.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good.
What do you think of Charlie Cameron's goal song and the talk of, hey, he wants to actually really change it, but the marketing department won't let that happen?
So I heard a couple of things. I loved it because I think, loved it.
Yeah.
I did hear, so speaking to my mum, who went to the game this week, she said that there was just like a general bit of confusion from quite a lot of children about, like, they didn't quite know what the hell was going on because it was sort of, you've got the Bears and you've got the different song and the different jersey, and then you've got like the song not there, and like we weren't all me, going to Carrara in the 90s, I love that shit. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it. I think it's great, but I think, yeah, it was probably an element of too much change, but I don't know. It was coming through the broadcast. There was people trying to start a Mexican wave, and to me, that's the most Q Clash thing that could possibly happen. So, yeah, I mean, you know what I think about goal songs. I'd rather not have them at all. But if they're going to be the Arthur theme song, that's going to make me actually happy. So,
yeah,
and I think the songs would be better if they had a better cut, like a tighter cut of the song in certain things. But
yeah, some of them are easier to do than others. Like you get a hook that I guess they try to play a bit that will then go naturally into the crowd singing it, the way that Sweet Caroline, bloody DJ Otzi and Country Road. There's a couple of them that don't necessarily work. And there's others that are just a little bit sort of quirky and fun and ironic and whatnot. But
well, this used to annoy me, back in the day when you'd like watch the wrestling and people would have these like theme tunes and they'd go on forever. And then you'd watch the Royal Rumble and it would be like the first 9 seconds of that theme tune. You're like, dude, get a different cut of your song. That's like the impact bit when you're into... Like, they need to do that. It's not that hard. I'm sorry, music audio engineers. I've been in the music industry. It's not that difficult to chop up a song and actually get it to work without having the, like, weird middle bit that no one remembers from Otzi. Or having, like, a whole boring verse. Like... Fremantle, you can hear Fremantle do it with when they have the Metallica song on after a goal. They have, and I know this, they have the like half guitar solo that happens after the first verse, and then it goes into the outro. Like, I don't think that's great editing, but they've done it. Like, that's not they haven't just pressed play on the Black Album and gone, that's the chunk. It's actually a different version of the song. But also run out to the song, run through the banner on the song. Don't run through the banner and then the song start. I don't know. Marketing department, get your fucking fingers out of the football club.
Fair enough. That's where the money comes from, though. It reminds me of when, and whether this is true or not, and I don't know if any West Coast fans are listening right now to, confirm this, but Nick Naitanui was told by the marketing department, hey, don't cut your hair.
Right. I thought you were going to talk about that guy that changed his name to like cat food or whatever it was. Like Whiskers? Oh, Whiskers.
Oh, Gary Hocking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whiskers
the Cats
Hocking.
back in the day. Oh, God.
Yeah, all roads lead back to bloody Geelong, I tell you what. Yeah, I mean... Do you remember, did you know that they told, so David Beckham, we're talking about David Beckham, he signed a contract with Brill Cream in England, like a very lucrative contract with Brill Cream, which is like, it's a hair product. It's like old man hair product. It's actually quite good, very greasy. And then he turned up to like the promotional ad with a shaved head. And they were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, whoops. So, yeah, maybe that's the sort of shit that's led to this. But I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever. Not your bag.
Let them do what they want. And
basically,
by that I mean do nothing at all.
But just win games of footy. Let them do that.
Yes, win games of football. I find it funny, in the past 2 weeks, no one seems to know when Wharfie time. Why Wharfie time? It's very easy. It's very easy.
Yeah, a very specific set of circumstances, isn't it?
And no one seems to understand.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They're like, oh, when is it? It's like they've got to be behind and they've got to kick a goal. And that goal has to have them within one kick of the lead.
Yep.
Parameters. They're there. It's not the garlic sitting with his finger on the button going like, fuck, better get Wharfie time out. It's like he would not have the button. He would not have the button. I don't care what they say. It'd be a person going, oh, Davo, they've kicked a goal and they've gone with it. It's time for Wharfie time. Bam. Press the button. It'd be the DJ.
Nice.
Probably the guy from Tame Impala who's sitting there, finger on the button. Kevin Parker.
Lovely. All right. Well, Kevin Parker, David Beckham, all these things tell me it's time to wrap things up.
Is there any other question?
No, I think that's it.
Hold on. I like that you omitted Whiskers from...
Oh, sorry. Yep, there you go. EB by Harker this Friday night. Go to the website, ebbyharker.com.au, click on game day packages, use the code word LionsFancast26, $70 drink package, the watch party this Friday night, EB by Harker. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We look forward to seeing as many of you there as possible, and enjoy the week, and let's sew up this top 4 position.